with a viewer submission this morning. So, Lucian and Kalista are two champions that pair really well together. So, Lucian is a 3-2 quick attack that levels up when he's seen 4+ allies die, or he's seen his wife, Sina, Sentinel of Light, die. His leveled mode gets double attack, so hits real hard. And then each round, the first time an ally dies, you rally. You get to attack, which is sweet. So on defense, you get to attack once, and on offense, you get to attack a second time. Lucian pairs well with Kalista, because Kalista has a very similar level up condition. So Kalista is a 4-3 with Fearsome, so a little bit evasive here. That levels when she's seen 3+ allies die. And then her leveled mode summons an ephemeral copy of your strongest ally that's died to get going each turn. So now, the other thing this deck is doing that's kind of neat here is we've got Vaults of Helia to kind of get going and rank up at the top end of our curve. So round start, kill your most expensive ally to summon an ally from your deck that costs 1 more. We've got Sithra the Bold, Rekindler, and Titania Crown Guard here at the very top end of our curve. I'm interested to see how Rekindler with Vaults feels without a 6-mana champion. So a lot of the Vaults decks that we've played so far have played like Hecarim or Darius. Hecarim or Darius at the very top end of their curve. So I'm interested to see how it feels getting this as a 7-drop if it's only getting back like a Kalista or Lucian as opposed to a more expensive champion. We've got things like single combat and concerted strike to be interactive with people. So let's go ahead and dive into some games with this and see how it feels. Window Head coming in hot for the 20th month with that absurdly generous tier 3. I really appreciate that support. Welcome back. Good morning. Ooh. An opposing Lucian aficionado. I wonder if they're also playing a Vault deck because they have Hecarim here. I think we're mulliganing these, looking for cheaper curves. I'm going to keep the Vault, see how it feels. What's up, dude? What's that? That's a new game that I'm going to be playing tonight on stream called Transistor. That's not really a kid game. Or actually, I haven't played it yet. I'm not sure if it's a kid game. Maybe you can hang out tonight. Our hand is very bad, chat. Maybe you can hang out tonight while I play it and we can see if it's a kid game. I don't think it's rated for adults, but I'm not sure if it's something you can play. Yeah.
Why did you make it on this Switch instead of your Switch?
Man, this is super awkward.
Why did you make it on the Switch?
Transistor. Why did I make it on that Switch instead of the other Switch? Well, because it can go on both of them. Just like the cartridges can go back and forth, I can download it on either one. Man, our mulligan and then our draw here has subsequently been super awkward. Story-wise, not super good friendly. Okay. Give me 1 attack for each ephemeral ally you have. Well, there's no reason for me to play anything, right? Because if I play this, just going to get hooked by this. And they want to burn my mana to skip their combat stuff. I think I'm okay with that. Yikes. Yeah, I think we're kind of dead. I'm going to go ahead and take a mulligan here. I'm interested to see if we got really unlucky with our mulligan here, or if we're going to have... Let's take a look at the curve of this really quick before. I feel like we just got unlucky. Yeah, our deck's got a lot of 1, 2s, and 3s in it, right? We've got 3, 12, and 6, so that's 18, 21. Half our deck is things that cost less than 4. Pretty unfortunate there. Runeterra has a little bit less variance than some other games, but definitely not an unsilica game. Karma Thresh, Spooky Karma. Okay, so we're gonna mulligan these, looking for cheaper things on curve again. And marginally more successful. First Lucian's probably gonna die, so a backup's not a terrible thing to have. We're attacking at evens here, which is nice with all of our 2-drops. Yeah, I agree. Vault is a card that even if it ends up not being amazing right now, it's a card that can only get better as more cards are added to the game. Yeah, Wizards figured out really hard that they could monetize their Commander players, and they are bleeding them for every single penny. Yep. I'm excited to try something similar to what this opponent is doing after I go hard from the pass. A little bit off of that. Probably play this tomorrow or Thursday.
Push back the darkness.
Alright, well, I'm pretty sure we just want to go wide and pressure them here. Their deck is almost assuredly a control deck, so...
We swing within the flows of magic.
My shield is yours.
Burn away the shadows.
Currents pull
Are the KDA cards in the game for good or only for the event? No, they're in the game for good. Riot, in Riot's traditional consumer-friendly manner, doesn't seem interested in playing games that involve fear of missing out with actual game pieces, which is good.
I'll free the souls you've taken. I worry about your own first. They will bend for death. Ride like a worm.
I'm just doing this. Might actually be worth it getting... Actually, no, I'm going to let this happen. Because I think it's worth getting damage on this. Because this is going to turn into a Kalista or a Senna here.
We shall not rest until all betrayers pay.
Nice, Jin. Good morning.
Alright, let's mess some folks up.
Let's mess some folks up. He's not wrong, Jin. They're not wrong. This is their second go hard. Yeah, opponent's playing Karma Thresh. No, they'll still get... This isn't magic, so... You still get the rest of the effects of the card if you lose the target. I just wanted to draw some cards. Would you like to trade? This is up to 4 of 6. Probably gonna want a concerted strike this turn. It's a real awkward draw.
Ionia speaks through me.
Why does the US have an automatic vote when you turn 18? The answer to why doesn't the US do X in relation to voting is very, very simple to understand. There is an entire political party in the United States that has a political motivation and stands to benefit from fewer people casting ballots every election. So all of the things that seem like they should be common sense or just like these are things you want people to do, why don't those things just happen in the United States elections? It's because of the GOP. It's because the GOP does worse when people vote. So they spend a lot of effort making sure people can't cast their ballots.
Yep, time for another whooping.
The GOP and their lawyers are currently locked into a bunch of legal battles right now, trying to get ballots thrown out and make it harder to vote for people in a lot of different states. There's a very real chance the election this week or this month gets decided in the courts and not by people casting ballots. That's terrifying. I think I'm not supposed to attack with this because I don't want to lose this to a deal one because I want this to turn into my second Crown Guard next turn.
I see everyone.
This has been a very stunning turn. We'll see if they have their Go Hard to blow our board out here or not. If they don't have the fourth copy of Go Hard, we're going to be in a very good spot. Because I get to attack and then Titania Crown Guard again. I guess that's not too bad, right? I get to redeploy a bunch of these. What if I eat this one? I'm gonna eat this one. Yeah, they don't care about the military, Seth. They've never cared about the military. They just profess to claim about the military, just like they profess to be pro-life, and they profess to be about small government. They profess all these other things, because they make those professions, because those professions earn them the ballots of people who are single-issue voters that are too stupid to look at what their actual voting history is like.
All betrayers.
Oh, is that a good one? Is that a good one to get back, chat? Good thing I brought my backup, Kalista. So, next turn, I open on attacks, which gets me 2 more Kalistas, right? This is kind of hot. This is kind of hot. It is not a combo with Crown Guards because Rekindler only gets back champions. Oh, Kalista summoning Crown Guard though. Yeah, Kalista resummoning Crown Guard is sweet, right? That's the combo. That's a great. I like when a deck gets to do the thing. That was lovely. Kalista pumping out those to get us more Kalistas, great. Seems good. Especially because Kalista protects itself with the thing it summons, so you just get to keep hitting it with them. Kalista says only the first time. Oh, does she? Does she say only first time? That's sad. Now you're gonna make me look it up. The first time I attack. Oh, that's sad. I was excited about that. Tim's got a really good curve here. 1, 2, 3. It's just curve of entry. What could it be?
Push back the darkness. You're late.
You're early.
The Lucian set a curve. Was real good. Yeah, Coder Chris, like a lot of things, it just like ignores all the nuanced and actual details of decisions like that. I think I'm gonna barrier here.
My shield is yours.
This means they don't have attacks, and then I get to attack with my, I get to attack with these next turn. Yeah, I'd really like there to be no abortions in the United States, too. And you know how you achieve almost zero? Through better sex education, through providing people with social safety nets so they feel like they can support a child if they get pregnant. Like, that's how you actually reduce the number of abortions in the United States. Not by banning it, but by supporting people and providing a quality means for people to have good lives to be able to actually raise their children. You help people.
The rot must be cut away.
You should make it so nobody ever feels like they have to make that choice. You make it so people have the resources available to them. That's not their only option ever.
I'll sleep when they're dead. Slow down, will you?
So I haven't, and this is kind of an awkward part, right? I haven't had a champion die yet. So if I play Sithra the Bold here, I should probably just pass, right? Because they're 10 out of 10 gonna hook this, and then I can play Sithra, and we'll be able to get Rekindler.
It's a long path to get here.
Well, that's just weird. For Demacia. Hey.
I fight for the
Pinor, thank you for the 10 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Well, I definitely just want to play this now, right? Because this will get us a Lucian. And then when that dies next turn, we'll get a rally, which is great. Yeah, Rekindler the easy way. unfortunate. Yeah, our deck's sweet, but I'm not sure that we're going to be able to beat the deep here. Just don't have good attacks now.
A crown guard never falters.
Huh. Second rally's not a terrible draw here. I don't know, I'd probably rather Cithra plus Lucian this turn, right? So, and maybe you're one of these people, Juggalos. So one thing that's really important to understand about politics in the United States right now is that Donald Trump is not an aberration. He is not some atypical thing that's an anomaly. Donald Trump is the natural culmination of everything the Republican Party has been working towards for the last number of decades. Donald Trump simply started saying all of the quiet parts out loud that their party has been working towards for generations. You have to remember that every action Donald Trump takes bears the rubber stamp of 50 plus Senate Republicans who said they're okay with the actions he's taking. There are going to be a lot of people, if Donald Trump loses this election, it is an if, so make sure you vote. If he loses, that are going to try and distance themselves from that horrible human being and say they never agreed with him and don't stand for the things he stood for. Their voting records, however, are going to tell an incredibly different story. They just dead to Cithra here? I think they're just dead to Cithra, right? God bless, Winter. Stay safe out there. Yeah, there's a lot of receipts. There's a lot of receipts out there.
We have prevailed.
To anybody who's new to the channel, we talk about politics fairly freely and openly here. Today's stream's probably going to involve a lot more than normal. Usually it's not a constant, but we're going to talk about things as they come up today. It's going to be a long day. So, if you're just here for the games, change the channel. But we're going to play some games. We're going to talk about things that are important. No, you can technically only have 2 terms in the United States, Bonacardio, with a maximum of, you can have 2 4-year terms, I believe, with a maximum of 10 years total. So, for example, if you're vice president and become president with less than 2 years left, you could be president that way for a little bit and then have two terms. Do we have a politics command? Oh yeah, perfect. Look at that. Pass, Jeff. Good job, Pass, Jeff. I appreciate you. What state am I in? A perpetual state of confusion and terror, or as I like to call it, 2020. I think I'm just playing Lucian out.
Push back the darkness.
I live in the middle of Illinois. I reside about 2 hours south of Chicago.
Shadows.
I live in the Bloomington normal area. My state is pretty red. It is not. So My state has several very densely populated, reasonably educated areas. So the specific part of Illinois that I live in is very red. But Illinois as a whole is a very safe blue state.
You're covered.
Both State Farm and Country Insurance have their headquarters in the Bloomington Normal area where I live. Yeah, Illinois is considered a very safe blue state. I've pulled up my Illinois District 18 map. I've pulled this picture. I've pulled this picture up before on stream, but just so people understand how elections work in the United States. This is a city where lots of people live. This is a city where lots of people live. This is a city where lots of people live. The weirdly shaped green area is my congressional district, cleverly drawn along outside of all of these cities, so that way this district can have a Republican representative. And I live on the very edge of this city over here, so I'm lumped into the green. Because there's a cornfield literally right behind my backyard. Man, I think I'm just letting that fog me. It's annoying, but it is what it is. I guess I can attack with this and hook this at least. Yeah, that's what, if you've never heard of gerrymandering before, that's what they mean when you hear people talk about gerrymandering. It's the act of drawing districts in a way to group certain demographics or types of voters together. The US election system is not bizarre. The US election system is carefully constructed in a very specific manner to get a very specific outcome.
Justice will be served.
I've always got your back.
Don't worry about me.
Mages can't hide from me.
Hey, I think it's time to smash, huh, chat?
Banish the unworthy.
So I want to put their best blocks. These are the ones they want to block the most. So I want to order these first. So that way if they put their lifesteal things up here, they don't lifesteal as much. Because remember, your life is a hard cap at 20. So I think we want to order attacks like this. I was actually, I was actually really surprised that our congressional rep is running opposed. That kind of surprised me. Okay, so what if I glimpse my Lucian here? So I have a question. So I could glimpse the Lucian to give this double attack, which means I do 8, 12. That's actually lethal? Let's go for lethal. Because this'll do 10, 14, 17. How confident are you in a Biden victory? Not at all. Anything could happen. Anybody trying to tell you that Trump can't win this election is kidding themselves.
Soldiers, to me.
Anything could happen except a libertarian landslide. That's a good. I'm on Niv's side there. Anything can happen except a libertarian. That's a good truth in advertising. I think I'm playing Fleet Feather Tracker here in case they want to attack me with lifesteals. What's my standout favorite? I really like the Ash decks, J-Wall. But honestly, all the decks on my website have pretty different play patterns. So I'd encourage you to just like check out some of the videos of them and see what exactly they have to offer.
Sentinels of light don't fear the dark.
Okay, so this is gonna get us a Rekindler, which will get us a Lucian.
We burst, then kindle anew.
There are a lot of people in the United States that believe our glorious Cheeto-in-Chief when he says COVID isn't real and it's not a big deal. Because there are a lot of people who don't believe the body counts because they haven't walked through the hospitals and seen the stacks of bodies and the graves with their own eyes. Just like people believe the earth is flat. My ordering on my attackers here is kind of loose. HR back, thank you for the absurdly generous tier 3 and for the 25 months at that. My vote just got counted. Gonna spend a lot of time playing with my cat, and I'll send Ghost Pirate aggro through the form. Perfect, Beck.
Nature blesses her followers.
So this Rekindler here is great. I get to play Rekindler, which gets me back a Lucian, and then Rekindler is going to turn into the rally unit next turn. How do I decide which games get highlights? You just look for ones that had genuinely good games played.
Hold nothing back.
Yeah, opponent's deck has gained a ton of life here.
Nature blesses her followers.
Well,
Slow down, will you?
well, so they're not attacking because I have an attack token as well, because I rallied this turn, which I think makes sense.
Search that.
Yeah, they just played 9 mana fog, is exactly what they did. You can always see our deck list by typing !deck in chat. You can also find the deck linked in the widget on the stream if you're on PC. I really wish the widget, the fact that I really need to pass that feedback along to Mobalytics. The fact that their widget doesn't have mobile support is real bad.
You are insignificant.
Do I want to attack with Lucian here? I don't think so. Yeah, we can't beat Runeterra or Stand United, whatever it's called. In a bad spot regardless here.
The Kinku go where they are needed.
Nature blesses her followers.
There is no dispute.
I mean, we get to level Lucian. So that's nice.
Nature blesses her followers.
I'll bring them peace.
Okay, there's a Sithra in our deck. So this Radiant Guardian's gonna turn into a Sithra here, and we're gonna rally.
And a long path to get
Yeah,
here.
the Lux in our opponent's deck kind of implied that they were bigger. And they probably want to open attack since I got the rally there.
I find them worthy. The balance has been maintained.
Nature blesses her followers. Nature blesses her followers.
So if I put this here, I can concerted strike this and this to kill this, right? And I can put this here to pop the barrier and then this will live. The problem is if they have another barrier in hand, this will kill this, so I probably don't want to do that. I think I put this here just in case they have a way to make this survive my concerted strike. Because if they have deny, nah, I don't even think I need to do that though, right? If they have deny, I don't die. So the order I strike here matters, so I want this barrier to be prevented, then this one to deal 6. I think we just do this. Because they would have to deny this plus triple barrier to kill me. No, Stand United's only plus 6 damage, chat. So obviously Fearsome doesn't matter, but we've got a bunch of lethal attackers here. Great, did we do it? Sick. Oh, Stand United swaps the 29 too? Sure. Yeah. Yeah, it was a sweet game. Beated the second Stand United. Glad our average draw is working out much better than the very clunky first one that we did. That we had. Thresh Gangplank, huh? Probably something more controlling. I think I'm mulliganing everything but Kalista, looking for 1s and 2s here. No 1-drop, but we're attacking on even, so it's like, welcome to the party, Fleet Feather Tracker. Right on time. Bring in the heat. Yeah, it could be Ledros combo. I don't know. This isn't an established archetype, so they could be a lot of different things.
All hands on deck!
Probably a Make It Rain in our future, so we're going to lead on this. And then next turn, we'll go Fleet Feather into Barrier, Fleet Feather, hook the Petty Officer. They have a second Make It Rain, I'm going to be sad, but it is what it is. I think we can really afford to play around that. Parlay.
Got your back. Honor guide you.
Howling Abyss is great. There's a ton of really, like, I really feel like the second Call of the Mountain card drop hit it out of the park with the number of different build-around cards that they included. Just a ton of really great, like, these are sweet inclusions. I like a lot of the cards in the first card set that they did with Call of the Mountain, but I feel like a lot of them weren't anywhere near the build-arounds that we got in the second ones. They're more cookie cutter. Make It Rain's fine with the new cost.
Sentinels of light. Don't
More
fear
than
the dark.
reasonable. I've not had a champion die yet. Oh wait, I don't have 5 mana yet. Have we had a champion die? Yeah, we had a Lucian die, right?
My gun does the talking.
Oh, we have had both die, haven't we? Yeah, you're right. Sorry, chat, it's early. Yeah, Kalista got murdered too.
A deal in coins and cards.
I think I'm just playing...
Slow down, will you?
I'm just playing Beaver here. Is that 2 out of 6 already? Look, we played against 2 Thresh decks so far in this set, and Vaults is really not great against Thresh. Helps them level up real quick.
Lucian.
All right, let's mess some folks up.
This is probably leveling this turn. Are we dead? I think we're dead.
Slow down, will you?
We each died, then found home.
Then found hope. Sure. We have another Thresh? I'm out of 4s, I believe. Yeah.
One candle for every
Where? Sure.
You're covered. Time to make some
Well, the
coin.
Gangplank's not loving the beast. Morning, Strevis. Terrible draw.
Justice will be served.
So I could do this, and then we can single combat these two, because Radiant Guardian's gonna get vaulted away anyways. Nah, I think I'd rather draw cards, Guardgrave. Oh, you're saying instead of killing their 2-3? No, maybe.
Show them what we're made of.
Get pick up. I am a progressive.
Come from the dark.
No, not liberal. Progressive. It is an important distinction. The tweet's very, very clear and direct. I think it's important to talk about policies more than party membership. We get so caught up in party membership in the United States that people often don't understand how wide the net is that Democrats cast in the United States because of how far to the right the Republicans have become.
We each died, then found home.
This card is a reenactment of me a week from now. I'm just gonna wail. Apologies, Jeff is what the right calls a filthy liberal because everything left of hunting the homeless for sport is socialism. Yep, basically. Ugh, whale poop. Think I need to kill Riptide Rex here, right? Or do I hold this? Do I hold this for something else? Think I'm supposed to hold this for something else? You want to take away military-style weapons? Actually, military-style weapons, much like assault rifles, don't exist and aren't clearly defined. And trying to take them away from people sounds like a very slippery slope. What are you going to tell me next? I'm not allowed to have nuclear weapons and hand grenades and rocket launchers? What do you mean I already can't have nuclear weapons? I have the right to bear arms, damn it! Give me my nuclear weapons! It's a slippery slope. You're taking away my nuclear weapons.
It's a long path to get here.
Alright, so the Sithra the Bull drawn here. Am I supposed to kill this and then just try and kill them? I think so, right?
We're done for.
Because these will become spooky scary.
Store the rations, shackle the prisoners.
So now this'll block here. and then they'll take 4, and this will take 2. I think that's fine. Because this doesn't give herself fearsome. Yeah, the people who are pro Second Amendment always seem to forget that the well-regulated part of the militia and the right to bear arms that the Second Amendment clearly defines in the United States. And what well-regulated means is, you know, that there should be rules and laws that govern these things.
Get you noticed around here.
How many nukes do I have in my cornfield? Listen! You're infringing on my freedom simply by asking that question. Sithra's been really good. This card's super strong.
Hardly a threat. Son of a...
In my opinion, my tweet about politics doesn't have anything about firearms. Where the United States should start with firearms, in my opinion, is, you know, all of the laws that we have that regulate automobiles, you have to register them and insure them and take tests to operate them. All of those laws should get copy and pasted to firearms to start. That would be my baseline. All of those regulations that we have for vehicles that could kill people when you drive them should be applied to weapons that could kill people. That would be like the bare bones minimum of what you should do. Mandatory firearm seatbelts. There you go. Exactly. See, you get it. Apart from giving that a 16-year-old, sure, clean up some of the details. But, like, the baseline of all that regulation is what we should have for it. Is Runeterra like Arena where you can have 3 quests? I'm going to be honest, I have no idea how the free-to-play fully works in this game because I don't pay attention to it. The only thing I fully understand about the free-to-play is unlocking the region levels. I understand that somewhat. I think I'm supposed to full mulligan here, looking for a cheap curve here against scouts. I think vault's too slow to keep in the opener. I'll be happy to draw vault later, but keeping it to start seems greedy.
There's a chill in the air.
Get bloody, get paid.
This is mercy.
It's like, if you want to know the absurdity, I'm very well politically informed, chat. In case anybody didn't catch that. If you want to know the absurdity of how firearms work in the United States, there is a law on the books that you can't have an electronic registry of gun owners in the United States. So there are literally just warehouses full of paper records of gun registrations and things related to firearms because they can't keep them digitally because that's against the law. John Oliver had a very good segment detailing some of it. I tamed someone out in chat a second ago because they said I seem extra combative. This is just how my voice sounds. I'm just talking. I'm just not some kind of timid cat. When I know what I'm talking about, I speak with confidence about the subject. And when I don't know what I'm talking about, I say that. I say, I'm not sure, or I need to learn more about that. That's true. Would I be less combated?
Is this what you'd prefer? Would you prefer I just lean in real close and whisper some sweet nothings in your ear? If I said we need to readjust how the Second Amendment works in the United States and we need to change all the laws and regulations, but I said it like this instead of my normal voice, would this make me seem less combative? Would this make you feel safe in the embrace of Hooglandia?
That's what you need. That's what you need in your life. Is a little bit more of that. I would be less combative if that was our normal state of stream.
We Demacians.
What are we doing here? I think we're playing Bright Steel, and then I've got 6 mana left over. The Whale's actually not terrible here. It's gonna kill the Valor. I feel less safe with that, Jeff. Hey, Vrolic Syndrome, thank you for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome to Hooglandia. I think we're just doing this. This kills this. And it means if this wants to hook this, they trade.
No!
Harry, riposte, you are toast. Aha!
That's true. There is a conversational Jeff that doesn't have a big stage voice. Yeah, it usually is, Beck. How do we feel about just playing? If I play Vault here, they'll turn this into a Lucian, and then I can play Senna, and Senna will die the following turn to Vaults, which will level Lucian. Challenger Dragon's a little scary. They can have pretty decent open attacks now.
Push back the darkness.
You're covered.
They're as good as dead.
You're adorable when you're angry.
Yeah, this dragon is very good. Stop and love the bomb. Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Thank you for the entire year of support. Really appreciate you dropping off your Prime this way again. Welcome back. I want to strike with Lucian first. So that way, if they barrier this, it takes 4. If they have a single combat here, we're going to be in a lot of trouble, but I don't think we can play around that at this point. We just need to get a little bit lucky here.
Still heart, steady aim.
Not so fast.
I think I do this to level Lucian.
I'll bring them peace.
Am I dead? Did I miscount? They hook this. We take 9, 11. I'm not dead on board yet.
Time to make a coin.
Yeah, Lucian dies, but I have, oh, Quinn's leveling.
Victory follows.
I missed Quinn was leveling. Joke's on you, Twitch chat. Lucian didn't die. I did.
It wasn't enough.
It wasn't wasn't. It wasn't enough indeed, Lucian. Big sad. Wasn't enough. Another deep matchup, eh? Mulliganing everything but Senna here, looking for an aggressive curve again. Yikes. I'm not convinced that Whale is good in this deck. I guess we haven't queued into discard aggro yet, but I feel like I want like a little bit more 1s and 2s, because I keep wanting to mulligan into 1s and 2s and then not getting any. Things could be going better over here, chat. We've drawn both Kiki Jikis.
Sentinels of light don't fear the dark.
Feel like the player base of Runeterra loves playing tier 1.5 or 2 decks as opposed to the de facto best deck. That's because Runeterra is a well-designed card game where the best deck in this game isn't significantly better than the second and third and 10th best deck. This isn't a game where you're at a huge competitive disadvantage if you're not playing the best deck. It's one of the reasons why Runeterra is fun. Because you can play things that are off the beaten path and still do well consistently. Agreed.
You're covered. The steel is yours.
The Blessed Isles live through me.
We shall pierce their treasonous hearts.
Pierce that treasonous hearts.
Protect our grove.
Danger, hey.
I refuse to wilt.
I mean, Juggalos, and again, just to set expectations to realistic, all of the issues that got Trump elected and the people that enabled Trump to stay in power and the people that were hateful and supported him doing hateful things, all of those things aren't just going to go away if he loses the election. You don't just get to like pretend they no longer exist. Like, these are big issues that need to be worked to address. I feel like there's a lot of people that feel very incorrectly that like Trump goes away and all of the problems are solved. And it's just not the case. About Scribosaurus. I mean, adding another 3 feels kind of bad though. And this is where this style of deck will get better the more cards that are printed. Because you'll have more options of things to do early. What about Egghead Researcher? This might be something worth trying. I just want another cheap thing to mulligan for. And this generates value when you sacrifice through it. Like if you vault this away, it created a dragon follower in your hand. I like Egghead. I feel like he's underplayed. He's a good dude. Yeah, but like burying the issues and pretending they don't exist is how you end up in the place we've been today. A big part of why political discourse has degenerated to what it is today is because of so many years of people saying we don't talk about politics here. And pretending like there aren't issues with things that there are issues. People make it's taboo to talk about politics for the same reason why it's taboo to talk about how much money you make in the workplace. Because both of those things give power to normal people and take it away from the powerful people. The reason why your boss doesn't want you to discuss how much money you make per year with your coworkers is because some of your coworkers are being underpaid. Maybe even you. And being able to discuss things like that openly is how you get people to organize and work together for the betterment of all of them. Perfect draw there.
Don't get in my way.
I make $3.50 per sub point. Per sub count. My threshold, I get 70%.
They're as good as dead.
You're adorable when you're angry.
Well, we should have played around that one, chat. We should have played the Kalista. It's a pretty big mistake. Not sure we're going to be able to recover from that.
Alright, let's miss some
100% should have done that. So the point, Juggalos, about talking openly about politics isn't to convince the other side to change their mind. The point of talking openly about politics is to reach one of the almost half of the country that's not engaged and doesn't vote. The point of most debates isn't to convince the person you're debating against to change their position. It's to convince onlookers that what you're saying is reasonable.
King of Trolls coming through.
We shall reach their treasonous hearts.
Sure, Juggalo, but I'm saying, like, the point of talking about it isn't to reach those engaged people who are already engaged. It's to reach the people that aren't. Yeah, that's a good summary there. The real divide isn't between the right and the left, but between the engaged and the unengaged. That's a statement I fully agree with. I think it's a good way to put it.
Smashing.
I feel like we're just dead here. I guess I have this Black Spear, so if I put this here, maybe we can Black Spear to finish this. Maybe.
I'm what nightmares fear.
Hey, Mavid, you know, global pandemic aside, I'm doing all right. The playground in my backyard is just about finished for the kids, which is awesome. We're supposed to have a last couple 70-degree days this week, so the kids will have a good chance to play on it outside before it snows.
Our vengeance manifested in you.
Lukewarm take, Juggalos. And I realize I come from a position of privilege to be able to say this because I don't depend on people who I'm related to survive, and I know some people don't have this luxury. But people who claim that they're my family while simultaneously telling me that, you know, if my children are queer, that they're not allowed to love who they want to love, or that my children don't deserve health care, those people aren't really my family. You can't pick who you're related to, but you can pick your family. And people who don't want to fight for their family and make sure their families are taken care of, those people aren't really my family.
We burn, then kindle anew.
They're people I'm related to. But people that tell me they love my children while simultaneously trying to destroy the planet that they need to live on and voting against their rights, like that's not real. Those are empty platitudes.
Leave your bags in the door.
So I'm a little afraid of flash freeze here. I don't think I want to trade Kalista inside of combat, but the rest of these seem like okay attacks. I probably want to order Senna first. I don't think I want to throw Egghead away. He might be an okay chump block later. If they, like, harsh winds these and kill them, Kalista levels at least, which is decent. Okay, so we're killing Lucian then. So not quite leveling here yet, but getting close. This rally off of here might be able to get us there. We'll see. Huh? Oh, that's elusive. Huh. The more you know. Do I have decent attacks if I play this? Yeah, kinda.
Allies, answer my call.
Yeah, maybe Lambton. That could be accurate. They jump blocked her anyway, so it didn't matter, but I think you're right. Maybe I should order those in the other way.
Onward to victory.
I'm gonna attack with just these two, because they trade with Ledros. And if they trade either of these with Ledros while I get this back to their hand, it's gonna level my Kalista, and then I'll have really decent open attacks next turn.
Let's talk about your dad.
Death to all betrayers!
Morning, Jensen. Oh, yeah, that's true. I should have attacked with the Rekindler, too, because of the Kalista. Yeah, it's a good observation. You're super right. Yeah, getting this resummoned would have been good. Thank you for pointing that out.
Meat bigger than you.
Lucian.
Yeah, you should. I can't dictate how you make decisions in your life, Juggalo, obviously, but whenever it comes back to we should just whenever the idea that I should just ignore the political leanings of people and tolerate them and just make it not be a big deal, Martin Luther MLK's words from in his letter from the Birmingham jail always lurk in the back of my mind about the biggest hurdle to progress not being the actual racists, but being the moderates who sit on the sideline and instead prefer a quiet peace dictating the timeline at which justice can occur.
I'll find vengeance on my own. It's always cold in the Freljord.
Yeah, I think we're dead here. This game was closer than I expected it to be, considering this game was closer than I expected it to be. This game was closer than I expected to be, considering I failed to play around the Avalanche on turn 3. And then there's the other side of that, the less articulate side of that coin. There's a common quote from Germany. Did you know, chat, that they had a special term for the people that sat by and didn't do anything while the Nazis rose to power, and they just tolerated them and didn't fight back and didn't do anything about it? We called them Nazis. It's a very special word. If there's one Nazi sitting at the table talking and there's 11 people sitting there listening to them, you have 11 Nazis sitting at your table. Yeah, K-Smith, the Shadow Isles Freljord control decks have moved to playing, what's it called? They've moved to playing, Field Rush as their top end. For mulliganing here, just looking for, they're playing Lee Sin Zed, so we probably just need to be the beatdown here. Controller's been all over the place for the last few days. Yeah, most of the Trundle decks I've played. It's been a long time since I've seen a War Mother's Call. They've all been feeling the rush. That last game, I think, is actually a really good example of understanding what matters in a game and pinpointing where we lost a game. Because, for example, in that last game, it's very easy to think, okay, we lost to Feel the Rush because Feel the Rush was too strong. But the reality was we ended up losing that otherwise close game to their finisher because I failed to play around Avalanche on turn 3. I prefer War Mothers because there's more counterplay. I actually completely disagree with you, Factor Fiction. I think Feel the Rush offers way more counterplay than War Mother's Call does. As someone who plays a lot of mid-range interactive decks in every card game that I play, it is much easier for an interactive deck to kill 2 big threats in this game than it is for an interactive deck to kill an endless stream of threats until the game is over. So all of the mid-range decks I play that have kind of a hard time against the Shadow Isle Freljord control decks, their matchups got better against those decks when they started playing Feel the Rush instead of War Mothers. I would much rather play against Feel the Rush with my mid-range deck than I would War Mother's Call. I think there's a Fizz Teemo deck in this meta. Yeah, maybe Mr. 3000 movie. Yeah, I think Guard Grey is a great summary. Feel the Rush requires less buy-in. It doesn't have a build-around restriction attached to it, but it's also easier to play through with interaction.
Go ahead.
What if I do this? I think I like it.
You're strange.
This could be our ticket to winning the game next turn.
Meaningless without skill.
A pleasure to see you, Master. Got your back.
I'm gonna barrier this in case they give this Challenger and want to try and kill her. This card got extra toughness for some reason. Why did you get an extra toughness, Lucian? Why?
Firing for conscious.
It's a long path to get here.
Conflict is all in the mind.
Spooky scary. So this can only block here now.
I will not hold back. Their heartbeats
Block, take 9, 10, 11.
Yourself.
I will not hold back.
I am 34 days Magic the Gathering clean.
Lucian!
We'll see how long we can go. Yeah, I saw some people complaining about Feel the Rush, and I think those complaints are largely unfounded.
Conflict is all in the mind.
So I originally had Demon Souls in the PS5 release picks, and after doing some more research on the game and looking at feedback from people about what type of game it is, I'm pretty sure it's not the style of game I would enjoy. So I removed it from the poll. I just play 2 4-power things here.
This dragon is positively otherworldly.
Otherworldly.
Their heartbeats quicken.
Deal Reno. Be aggressive, be aggressive. I kind of want... Part of me wants another Sithra, but another part of me doesn't want more top end in my deck. Hey, Fide, thanks for 11 months. Nothing better to do with this Prime sub, so here's a small donation to your mortgage. I appreciate it. Cinnamon, thank you for the 3 months. Of course we can give you a 10-minute break. So, this deck had some really neat pieces to it when it really got going. I feel like my one big takeaway from playing the actual games out that we played was that one of my initial concerns about Rekindler only having these lower cost champions to return actually ended up being pretty reasonable. Specifically, Kalista leveled, like, Rekindler getting back leveled Kalista, and then leveled Kalista getting back, like, Rekindlers and Tiana's Crown Guards was, like, really, really sweet. I feel like the changes that we made, Egghead Researcher felt good in those last couple of games that we played. The big issue we were having to start was the curve of our deck was just a little bit too high. We kept having too many games where we'd, like, mulligan looking for 1s, 2s, and 3s and get caught up with too many, like, single combats and concerted strikes and vaults and stuff like this with nothing to do early. And having one more full 2-drop that we could play out proactively felt very reasonable. Vault felt okay. It definitely has some clunky games, but it gives you a little bit of a powerful top end to punch through in games that you'd otherwise be stalling out in. So, like, being able to curve these out in the late game off of Vault was very reasonable at different points. I think Lucian and Senna is probably better than Garen, largely for the reason I just talked about, which was that I felt one of the bigger issues we had in this deck was the curve not being low enough. So I think having good 2 and 3 mana plays early is what we're looking to do, because Vault, Sithra, Rekindler, Tiana, these are enough pieces of top end. Any good Zed decks I can show you? Lucian, the archetype we just played against, is probably one of the better Zed decks in the format. I think there's a variation of that up on Mobile Links you can take a peek at. It's not something I've played, though. Is it possible Vault 3 should be Sithra 3? I mean, Vault is Sithra in a lot of ways, Quaddle. So, like, Vault turns these things into Sithras at the top end. So I think if you're building your deck around Vault in mind, you want the Vaults. Yeah, Lucian Zed would be the established Zed archetype in the format. All right, we're going to go ahead and shift gears for the second